Welcome back. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, met with the Crown Prince and Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, His Royal Highness Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud at Al Safa Palace in Mecca. His Royal Highness highlighted the depth of historic relations between Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, which are built upon shared visions and positions on various issues. His Royal Highness noted that bilateral ties, cooperation and coordination remain strong, in line with the support of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. His Royal Highness noted His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman's efforts in furthering bilateral integration across various sectors to benefit both countries and their peoples. His Royal Highness conveyed His Majesty the King's greetings to the custodian of the two holy mosques and His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman, expressing His Majesty's best wishes of progress and prosperity to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and its citizens. His Royal Highness further conveyed his greetings to the custodian of the two holy mosques. His Royal Highness underscored Bahrain's commitment to further strengthening the Bahrain-Saudi partnership to meet mutual goals and shared aspirations. His Royal Highness recognised Saudi Arabia's commitment to supporting Arab and Islamic issues and its noble role in serving pilgrims. In this regard, His Royal Highness emphasised the importance of bolstering coordinated efforts across various issues to benefit both countries and their citizens. For his part, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman welcomed His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad's visit to Saudi Arabia, highlighting the strength of Bahrain-Saudi relations and ways to further the partnership across various sectors. Issues of common interest were also reviewed. The Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, and several senior officials also attended the meeting. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa arrived in Jeddah on a visit to meet with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince and Prime Minister, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. The visit reaffirms the depth of the historical partnership between the two kingdoms and the mutual commitment to further bilateral relations. Upon arrival at King Abdulaziz International Airport, His Royal Highness was received by the Deputy Governor of Mecca region, His Royal Highness Prince Saud bin Mishal bin Abdulaziz Al Saud, and Bahrain's ambassador to Saudi Arabia, Sheikh Ali bin Abdul Rahman bin Ali Al Khalifa. His Royal Highness was accompanied by the Minister of Finance and National Economy, Sheikh Salman bin Khalifa Al Khalifa, and a number of senior officials. Bahraini-Saudi relations have always been a source of pride for the two brotherly peoples. These relations were built on honourable and authentic positions and principles that resulted in strategic partnership in all fields. More in this report.
Historical brotherhood and strategic partnership based on strong foundations of interconnection, cooperation, understanding and joint cooperation between the Kingdom of Bahrain and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. A relationship distinguished by several foundations, most notably the deep-rooted ties between the leaderships and peoples, which opened the doors to begin the joint process of development and progress that began decades ago. Over these decades, Bahraini-Saudi relations have formed a model of historical brotherhood and growing partnership, and reached their highest levels during the prosperous era of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud. The process of joint Bahraini-Saudi bilateral cooperation is a great process that is moving forward towards further growth to enrich the achievement of joint work, thanks to the high royal patronage and the high directives of the leadership of the two brotherly countries. Unified visions, reinforced by ties of brotherhood and harmony rooted in history, contributed to building an integrated base of distinguished relations between the two kingdoms and opened promising and broader horizons in all fields and at all levels.
His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, issued a circular on the Eid al-Fitr holidays. The circular stipulates that the Kingdom's ministries and public institutions will close on the day of Eid al-Fitr and the 2 days that follow. The circular added that if any of the Eid days coincides with an official holiday, an extra day will be given in lieu. The meetings of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister with Majlis leaders yielded positive results by emphasising the Sustainable Development Goals and Bahrain's economic vision at 2030, based on the comprehensive development process led by His Majesty the King. More in this report.
In line with the comprehensive development process of His Majesty the King, all the meetings held by His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister with citizens and Majlis leaders during the holy month of Ramadan contributed to achieving positive results by emphasizing the support of the people of Bahrain and implementing development programs that serve the public interest. Multiple meetings that warmed the hearts of Bahraini people and the good qualities of His Royal Highness confirmed the authentic tradition that Bahraini society has established, which in turn represents the kingdom's consistent approach to consultation, which reflects positively for a bright future. These large crowds confirmed that the people of Bahrain will continue their giving in one spirit, so that their prince can be left in every field, so that the Kingdom of Bahrain will witness a comprehensive development under the leadership of His Majesty the King in terms of the Bahrain Economic Vision 2030 and the Economic Recovery Plan, and the aspiration to begin formulating the Bahrain Economic Vision 2050 as a starting point for the continuation of the path of progress and prosperity.
The Shura Council held its weekly session, presided over by its chairman Ali Al-Saleh. The Council approved a proposal amending a number of provisions of Decree Law 21 of 2015 on private health institutions. The Council also approved the permissibility of considering a proposal on regulating advertisements on social media. Under the directives of His Majesty the King and the follow-up of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, the Kingdom of Bahrain has achieved a prominent leadership position on the health map by providing the finest health, preventative, curative and rehabilitative services. More in this report.
The Constitution of the Kingdom of Bahrain stipulates in Article 8 the right of the citizen to health care. The country has given the right to health a permanent priority in all development plans and strategies, in light of the royal directives of His Majesty the King and His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and Prime Minister for everything related to the health field. In conjunction with the celebration of the Silver Jubilee and the anniversary of World Health Day, the Kingdom of Bahrain recalls with pride its long journey in the health field. During the prosperous era of His Majesty the King, the Kingdom was able to establish an integrated health system capable of confronting health challenges, including the corona pandemic, by providing the best medical technologies, equipment, and therapeutic medicine, in developing health laws and legislation, including the health insurance law and the public health law. The government, headed by His Royal Highness, also worked to implement wise visions of His Majesty the King. His Royal Highness directed the provision of 24-hour health services in a number of centres, and the National Health Plan was approved with the aim of achieving quality in the provision of health services and ensuring their sustainability. Under the royal patronage, Team Bahrain succeeded in achieving health goals that enhance the quality of life and human safety, locally and globally.
The Kingdom of Bahrain joins the countries of the world in celebrating World Health Day on April the 7th of each year in commemoration of the anniversary of the founding of the World Health Organization in 1948. More in this report.
My Health, My Right is the slogan of World Health Day, which is celebrated on April 7th of each year with the aim of defending the right of every person to obtain the health services and comprehensive health coverage they need, and stresses the importance of cooperation to enhance the goals and aspirations of sustainable development and providing the means and resources to achieve the health and well-being of all. The Kingdom of Bahrain is distinguished every year by its global efforts and achievements in the health sector by allocating large financial resources within the general budget to the healthcare sector, expanding the scope of health options for citizens and residents, and encouraging investment in the health sector, in addition to monitoring the implementation and development of health professions and services regulations in its government and private sectors. The kingdom achieved the highest health ranks in the health and medical sector thanks to its strong system, technical structure and high readiness, which enabled it to develop plans based on evidence-based practices and achieve them in line with global recommendations. These annual slogans, which differ in their title and share common content, aim to enhance global awareness, reconsideration and create a comprehensive, healthy environment for all.
The Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs announced that the moon sighting panel will convene on Monday evening, April the 8th, to receive news and testimonies regarding the sighting of the crescent moon of the Shawwal 1445 Hijri. The SCIA urged the public to contact the moon sighting panel to report any testimonies or news of sighting of the Shawwal crescent. The Assistant Under-Secretary for Control and Resources at the Ministry of Industry and Commerce, Abdulaziz Al-Ashraf, affirmed that in accordance with the supervisory plan, followed by the inspection department in the ministry, in preparation for Eid al-Fitr, monitoring campaigns have been intensified on various shops and markets that receive wide demand before Eid in all governorates of the kingdom. This comes within the framework of ensuring the availability of basic goods and a smooth flow in the markets, taking note of any indicators of obstruction to the flow of goods and taking the necessary measures. The Assistant Under-Secretary for Control and Resources stated that the process of tightening control during the seasons aims to confront any attempts for exploitation of occasions with illegal commercial practices. He reiterated his call to report any violations regarding commercial fraud and incorrect promotional offers through the Ministry's communication channels or through the National Suggestions and Complaints System, Tawassul. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs held a remote meeting with Arab ambassadors to Bahrain as part of the ongoing preparations for the 33rd Arab Summit set to be hosted by the Kingdom in May. The Chief of Arab and African Affairs, Ambassador Ahmed Al-Thurafi, expressed the keenness of the Kingdom, under His Majesty the King's leadership, to provide all facilities for the participating delegations to ensure the success of the Pan-Arab Summit, to enhance joint Arab action and achieve the aspirations of the Arab nation and its peoples. A detailed presentation was given about the ongoing preparations to receive and host the participating delegations. The presentation also shed light on the electronic platform that was prepared to facilitate all logistical procedures for the participating countries. The Speaker of the Arab Parliament, Adel Al-Assoumi, held a meeting with the ambassadors and permanent delegates to the League of Arab States in Cairo. The ambassadors praised the preparations being made by Bahrain for hosting the next Arab Summit in mid-May, expressing their confidence that it will be an exceptional summit in its importance, status and subject matter, given the rapid events the Arab region and the world are witnessing. The ambassadors affirmed that these preparations reflect Bahrain's keenness, under the leadership of His Majesty the King, on the success of the summit, as it comes at a very sensitive time in which the Arab countries are facing many challenges, which increases the importance of the upcoming Arab Summit in confronting these challenges. The Coast Guard continues its land and sea inspection campaigns to ensure fishermen's compliance with fishing regulatory rules. The campaigns are organised in cooperation with the Nationality, Passports and Residence Affairs and the Labour Market Regulation Authority, and aim to enforce the law, eliminate violations in the territorial waters of Bahrain and ensure adherence to decisions regulating fishing, the validity of vessel licences and the availability of marine safety tools. A number of violations were detected and legal measures were taken in this regard. With the advent of Eid al-Fitr, the Central Bank of Bahrain is working to provide new banknotes of all denominations of the Bahraini dinar. in preparation for meeting the requirements of retail banks in Bahrain to provide Idea to their customers. New banknotes are an essential feature of Eid celebrations, and despite the existence of electronic money transfer applications, customers still go to retail banks to replace banknotes with new ones, especially dinar and half dinar denominations, which are in demand